Welcome once again to this week's edition of An Irritable Person's Weekly Mailbag, during which I will read to you everything you could have read for yourself Monday through Friday on my Substack, Ask an Irritable Person. Monday. Dear Irritable Person, I've been working at my neighborhood pet store since I graduated high school 27 years ago. I love it there. I know all the customers and most of the pets. We've got a great selection of puppies, kittens, birds, snakes, rodents, and fish. We're a pretty big deal, not just in the neighborhood, but in the whole county. 10,000 square feet of pets and pet needs. We're like Petco if there were only one of them, or at least we were. Recently we changed owners for the third time since I've worked here, and these new owners are the worst I've ever seen. They want to phase out all the cool niche pets, the rodents are my favorites, and focus on puppies and kittens. And they decided they wanted to scramble the shelf space so no one, not even the employees, knows where anything is anymore. It's like working at a Home Depot where all the departments have been mixed up and the signage translated into Slovenian. There's less foot traffic these days, no surprise, and the owners keep hinting that they might need to reduce payroll, hoping that people will quit so they don't have to pay them unemployment. Should I just wait these new owners out and hope they sell before they ruin the place? Or should I find another job now before they fire me? Sincerely, Disgruntled. Dear Disgruntled, maybe what your pet store needs is radical socialism, financed through old school capitalism. Is there any chance that the workers can buy out the owner? Does one of your customers work at the neighborhood bank? Maybe if a group of you employees got together, the bank will finance your buyout. Ownership matters. Just look at the Mets. Their turnaround the last couple of years began when they changed owners, from a guy who was rich in name only after getting shredded by the Madoff scandal to an investments guy who could finance Satan's hostile takeover of the pearly gates. In short, take ownership into your own hands. Gather stupid wealth to make stupid wealth, and keep your little 10,000 square foot patch of the world sane and well ordered. Sincerely, Irritable Person. Tuesday. Dear Irritable Person, I've just received a birthday present, and the thought of opening it fills me with terror. Have you ever seen the movie Seven? It came out about 30 years ago, but I just caught up with it last night. It's terrifying. First of all, Kevin Spacey is in it, which was an unpleasant shock. And then there's everything else that happens through most of it. And then there's that ending, which features a box and an unpleasant surprise. I don't want to spoil it for anybody. So last night I watched this movie, and this afternoon a package was left outside my front door. I don't know if it was delivered by the post office or what. It was sitting on my welcome mat in a plain brown box. My name and address on it, and some postage, and that's it. This is probably just a coincidence, right? The package showing up the day after I see that movie. No one's trying to play a funny joke on me, are they? And it is my birthday, so it's probably just a present. Of course it is. My wife keeps telling me to open the box, but she only says that when she's leaving the room. Should I open the box? Sincerely, Deeply Afraid. Dear Afraid, oh hell yeah, open the box. Aren't you curious? Sure you are. And you don't want to insult the person who sent it to you by throwing it in the trash, do you? Open the box. Take a photo. I want to see. Of course, if this was happening to me, there's no way in hell I'm opening that box. Good luck, Irritable Person. Wednesday. Dear Irritable Person, this morning I stopped worrying, and that worries me. Worrying has been a food group for me, something that's felt essential for my existence. If I'm not worrying about something, then something's wrong. I just don't know what it is. Whether it's schoolwork, or looking for a job once I graduate, or my relationships with other people, or my lack of relationships with other people, or my living situation, or what would happen if I lost my current living situation. The worries just keep on growing and mutating into a rich mulch that fills me with a familiar dread. At least while I was still worrying, I knew what was on the horizon. Well, I thought I did, and I could prepare for it. Although, come to think of it, the problems that I prepare for tend not to happen, or turn out to be not as difficult as I imagined they'd be. I think I know what caused this. I accidentally listened to classical music last night, and it has had some kind of weird calming effect on me. This morning I am seeing things in perspective, and I am not worrying about things that aren't an actual problem right now, which leaves me with nothing to worry about. I find this state of affairs to be completely unfamiliar and therefore deeply distressing. How can I find my way back to worrying about things that will probably never happen? Sincerely, troublingly untroubled. Dear Untroubled, I hear you. The problem with your problems is that they only exist in your head. There are an unfortunate few who suffer from this dilemma. Fear not, eventually something will go terribly wrong with your life and you'll have to deal with it. Perhaps a relative will want to visit you, or you will give birth to twins, or you will become pregnant with twins, or you will have your period, or you will stop having your period. For some reason, my list of things that could go wrong mostly happen to women. I would take a closer look at that, but I'm a man, so whatever. Until something does go wrong, you're just going to have to make do. Did a stranger look at you funny? Is your apartment not sparkling clean? If it is sparkling clean, well, how long do you really expect it to stay that way? I bet if you look hard enough, you can find something that's dirty right now. Do your best. I know from personal experience how awkward it can feel when, however briefly, you start enjoying the world and everything in it. It's a nasty habit to fall into. Stop it as quickly as possible and get back into your comfort zone. Sincerely, Irritable Person. Thursday. From the editor. I'm writing this entry for my crazy uncle who lives in the woods, known to you as Irritable Person, though that may be about to change. This morning he saw some butterflies outside his cabin and immediately gave chase. The chase continued most of the day. Consequently, the day kind of got away from him. Fortunately for the butterflies, they got away from him too, as he intended to kill them and pin them to a tree as a warning to other butterflies. He is too exhausted and depressed to write his blog tonight, but he will be back with you tomorrow to offer more of his highly problematic advice, unless an adorable fawn happens to wander by. Sincerely, Irritable American's nephew. P.S. I'm taking advantage of my uncle's absence to slightly change the title of his blog. I think my title is better than Ask an Irritable Person. Friday. Dear Irritable American, I've spent so much of my adult life alone, sad and angry, burdened by a degenerate husband and hideous children. 6 months ago, my eldest child, a deep ingrate of a bitter 63-year-old divorcee, took advantage of my brief illness to have me committed to an old folks' home and sell my house out from under me. Without meaning to, she has brought me the greatest joy of my life. The staff here is dedicated and hardworking and does everything they can every day to care for us, to feed us, and to bestow upon us that greatest of human gifts, kindness. The kindness they show in their actions, in their conversations, in their encouragement of each of us as we live our days out in this place has changed me for the better. I've truly found a home and a family with these people and with my fellow residents. This is what I would say to you, sir. Be kind. Sincerely, Never Been Better. Dear Never Been, I don't believe a word of your ridiculous renaissance. I think your recent illness must have been a severe blow to the head, which has scattered your wits. If you ever recover them, you will discover that the laundress has been stealing your small change, and the cook has been spitting in your food. I don't know who you are or where you're living, but nothing you say could ever convince me otherwise. You, madam, are in a desperate state. Rereading your atrocious letter, I consider myself quite fortunate to live as I do, alone, in a poorly heated cabin in the woods. I'd rather throw another blanket over my shoulders than to keep a watchful eye on the person who's cleaning and folding my socks. Wait till around 3 in the morning when there's a quiet time between shift changes, and make a run for it. Show a little of the independence that made our country great. Live off the land like our ancestors did. I do. Nothing gives me greater pleasure than to hunt wild game, as I was doing just the other day. The way to keep your wits sharp is to live by them. Daily hunting and trapping, supplemented by bi-weekly target runs. Try it sometime. Sincerely, Irritable American. And that's it for this week's mailbag. Look for Irritable Person's weekly catch-up audio mailbag every Sunday, and follow the daily column Ask an Irritable Person every Monday through Friday on Substack, or subscribe. It's free and virtually certain to remain so for the foreseeable future.